A relationship that's finally clearly explained.
Ooh, Yaoi review.
Hi everybody, it's Corbin, and today I'm here to talk to you about Kizuna, Volume 2, Bonds of Love by Kazuna Kodaka. We shall read the back and delve into the nitty-gritty. A romantic epic, The Village Voice. The origin of love. Renmaru and Kai were not always the perfect couple. There were times when Renmaru was an up-and-coming kendo star, and Kai was a shy and timid scholar. What brought these two different souls together was how they did their love grow strong. Meanwhile, an enemy of the Yakuza abducts Ki's half-brother Kai, Sango, and it's up to Masa to rescue him. Will Kai and Masa reveal their true feelings towards one another before it's too late? This is rated 18+. It is published by BB Beautiful CMX 66902G. Now, let's delve into it. Art style-wise, this very much so kind of reminds me of Rama 1 1/2. It is that kind of... It's just a nostalgia kick for me. Again, love it. It reminds me of the original kind of Gundam anime. It reminds me of just Thundercats and just kind of the 80s glory days of when anime really became a pop sensation. Now, as far as storyline goes, this explains a lot of like loopholes that they kept referencing in Volume 1. So we finally get to see how, what was his name? Renmaru was actually a kendo star, how famous he really was, how good he really was. He was a freshman in high school and destroyed the instructor. He literally beat the guy up and was just an all-around perfect kendo star. And we see how he meets, Ki. We see how they meet. We see finally how they fell in love. Ki immediately told him how beautiful he was, and Renmaru beat him up. And that happened a few times until finally Ki became the perfect sparring companion for Renmaru. And that's the only way he got respect. Then Renmaru and Ki ended up falling in love in, I want to say it's like mid-junior high. Then they don't see each other again until close to university time. And then they fall madly in love. And then Renmaru's accident happens. And he's paralyzed entirely on the left side. So he'll never be able to fight again in kendo. Ki ends up... Renmaru gives up and he's willing himself to die. So he has a fever that spikes up. And he's on his deathbed. He's lost like 20 pounds because he's not eating. And he is willing himself to die. And Ki ends up going to see him and professes his love. And tells him, no matter what, you are the person that I fell in love with. And that will never change. I will always be here for you. Even if you try to push me away. And I mean, it's just one of those... It was very sappy, very romantic. And they end up... I mean, yes, there's like 4 or 5 different stages of sex in this thing. You see sex almost every chapter. But it was so artfully done, and it's worked so well with the pacing in the story that... Yeah, they were having sex, but it was just part of the story. It was not, ooh, sex. So I liked that a lot. It worked, and it flowed really well, and the sex all felt properly motivated, and it didn't feel too rapey. Now we hit the second part with, I have to double check his name, Kai. So, Ki's younger brother, Kai. So, Kai gets kidnapped, abducted when he's on his way to work or school or something. And the new head of the Yakuza hasn't been proclaimed yet. So, everybody is targeting him because he is the biological inheritor of his father's position, but not necessarily the head of the gang because he's too young. So he gets kidnapped, and everybody thinks that's why he got kidnapped. But no, what happened is Kaza, I think that's his name, Mesa. Mesa had a girlfriend who had been murdered, and they couldn't find the murderer. And her little brother, as part of the mourning process, went up to Mesa and begged him to sleep with him, just like he did with his sister, so he can know what unconditional love feels like. Well, Mesa did, and then just kind of ghosted the kid, never saw him again. And he went to work for the Yakuza organization where he took care of Kai. Okay? Well, it turns out that Mesa is in love with Kai and always has been, and the girlfriend was kind of like a cover story. And this brother it turns out, murdered his sister because he was in love with Mesa, and had kidnapped Kai because he wanted Mesa to himself. So Mesa ended up coming to rescue Kai, and Kai... Anyway, they finally proclaim that they love each other in the end, and that plotline was very convoluted and felt very much so like a days in my life sort of scenario. But it was still really enjoyable. It flowed really well. There was a rape scene at the very beginning of that story, so that's kind of like a warning if that's kind of your trigger, that when you hit the portion where you see the guy tied up, skip kind of halfway through that story. It's very like the last little like 10 pages of this. I really liked it. I loved this, actually. I really like this series, and I cannot wait to pick up the next one. So yes, if you guys have read this before, let me know your thoughts down below. Give me a like, a favorite, subscribe, share this with a friend who likes yaoi, and I will talk to you guys later.
Do you
Bye.
like what you see? Then...
Subscribe!